For anyone that's not paying attention to the events going on right now, I have a couple words for you. Do the events. These are some ridiculous, potentially game-changing accounts that are going on right now. A lot of times we have like, oh, crazy dungeon boxing club, and then you got, you know, it's some resources, which is always nice to do these, to get the resources. You got the luck passes. That's my preference on an account on an event like this. But you know, those are nice events. But these ones, man, these are crazy events. I know a lot of you have already seen this, have already been working towards this, but for those of you that haven't, first off, we got some decent summons here. We got a couple skill ups, and we have one of the new event deliriums, but also the amount of summons that you can get from this, potentially, you're going to get new stuff. You're going to get new toys because there's so many summons, even if you get one of these, but the amount of extra points that you have left over to get 10 Illyrium from those each time you want to spend 1,000 of the Viking, what is it, Viking hats? I don't know. Someone in the comments again tell me the exact name of what a Viking hat is actually called, historically speaking, but it's just a crazy amount of summons that you get from this event. So that is one of the events. The next one, I don't know if you guys saw this yet, Elmon crafting. We've had these events before. Light attribute theme. You're crafting LD4s. It's not due to LD4s, it's just random LD4s, sometimes gonna be really top tier LD4s. So, like I said in the beginning, do the event kind of crazy. So I've crafted one so far. We got the Light Ripper. We've already gotten the Light Ripper before, so I'm not really too excited. 2,000 points to craft. You can get up to 600 points per day. And then if you want to craft again to get better physiques for the same unit, you can do that for 1,000 points. It's the same as the other Elmon events, but LD4. Well, not LD4. L4. Light Nat 4 unit. Pretty crazy. And then, of course, we got the summons here. We got some other things. We got the usual stuff. It's just that there's a light 4-star up for grabs. Don't miss out on this. Don't miss out on the opportunity. So let's go over some of the, while we're here talking about it, let's go over some of the light 4-stars in the game that are potentially some top tier ones. I think everyone should know, everyone that's been playing and doing PvP knows what some of the top tier ones are. So this is the Occult Dancer. He's got a revive over here. So we got the first skill, damage based on max HP. Dungeon speed lead. Damage based on max HP. Extends duration of buffs. Shortens duration of debuffs on one turn. On all allies. Recover HP by 20%. And then we have this, like I said, the revive, refresh target's cooldown ability cannot be affected by cooldown modifying effect. So if you get attacked by, like, for example, the Fire Dr. Evil, not going to matter. She can still use it. So what do we have next? The Light Sky Police. I think this is a little bit overrated, to be honest. I know people like it. You buff the defense and the immunity, and then you do a big nuke, 4 to 7 hits. It's based on speed and defense. The attack count increases according to your speed and damage based on your defense. Not bad. Reminds me of Stella from big game that shall not be named, but also does take into consideration the defense, and you buff your own defense there, so you just need a defense break. Also does a defense break, but yeah, I don't think this is as useful as some of the other ones. But so we got the Ant Cannon. First skill is a potential to attack again. Second skill is a 2-turn attack up and crit up. Third skill, Magnet Disorder. Deplete the action bar of all allies and enemies. Inflict 1-turn paralysis to all enemies. Grant 1-turn speed up to all allies. 1-turn stun on yourself after using this ability. Cannot be resisted. Ignores immunity. It is effectively tableau. Also, we have the Arena Speed Lead as well there. This one, very, very popular unit. This might be one of your choices if... this might be the choice that you should choose if it is available to you, because it is one of the top ones. So we've got this first skill, multi-hit, speed down. Second skill is the AoE, recover HP by 50% damage dealt, 25% chance to absorb action bar. But this immortal passive, when your HP is below half, absorb HP equal to 10% of your max HP from the enemy at the end of the enemy's turn. When your HP is above a half, if another ally suffers a fatal attack, transfer HP equal to 20% of your maximum HP to the ally. It's a mixture between, I'm always gonna reference, but it's a mixture between Huadam and Light Lich in the game that shall not be named. We got the Bookworm. Really, really nasty. This is another top tier unit. This is another one that if you get it, this might be the one that you choose if this is one of your options. We have the first skill, Incurable and Defense Down. Second skill is 1 stack of Foresight. It's a heal to all allies, 1 stack of Foresight. Extra turn after using this ability. Very frustrating to deal with. Cooldown is in 4 turns, but it's basically 3 turns because anything that gives you an extra turn, you got to kind of decrease the cooldowns. You have to consider that the cooldowns are going to be 1 turn less for these skills than they would have been if you did not get the extra turn. And then the Omniscient removes all debuffs on all allies, recover HP by 30 to 36%, and revive all dead allies with 30% HP. Grant all allies 1 stack of Nullify. Cooldown will be increased by 1 turn per each ally revived. Ninrat, he's got, sometimes we've done multiple videos on this guy. It's a single target damage dealer. He's got the speed lead for light units. 60% chance to inflict 1 turn stun, ignores 30% defense, reusable in 2 turns, which is nice, but he's not consistent, right? He's got the Zanshin passive, 1 point at the end of the turn. For each point, 10% chance to gain additional turn, ignore 10% of the enemy's defense. So he's like, maybe if you're lucky, I'll ignore enough defense to really matter if you're lucky and you're stacked. Okay. So, yeah. If an enemy is revived immediately, gain a turn, increase point by 7. After the extra turn ends, the points will be reset. So more opportunity if enemies are reviving, but yeah, it's not as easy to use this guy as other ones, and not as, for me, feels like not as useful as some of the other units. We've got the Light Engineer Robot, really useful for actually a lot of different content. Really useful for a lot of different content. He's got the heal and the defense buff, so keep your allies alive longer. We got the strip over here. And then we have the Deus Ex Machina, increases the action bar of all allies by 15% wherever your turn ends. So just make him very fast, and he will basically, he's kind of similar to the Fire Gunslinger, because anytime he gets a turn, allies' attack gauge is getting boosted. Additionally apply 2-turn defense down when attacking the enemy, so with this skill. And then we've got a defense up when healing an ally. So this is heals, decrease cooldown, and defense up. Very, very effective for a lot more places than I initially would have thought at the very beginning of the game. Then we have the Gunslinger, the Light Gunslinger. This one is similar to the... This one's similar to the Fire one. So similar to the Fire one and also the Water one as well. Double damage to bosses or enemies under inability effect. We've got the mark here. We have the Lucky Shot passive. When attacking, there is a chance to ignore 60% of the enemy's defense. The action with the activation chance equal to your luck rate. Additionally, if your critical rate is higher than the target's, your attack will always land as a critical hit. So if target's crit rate, if the target is a support unit, it's got like 20% crit rate, and you have 25% crit rate, well, your crit rate is higher, so you're going to keep landing crits, even if it's only 25% crit rate. But yeah, could be potentially really good. I haven't tested this out personally, but could be potentially really good with high luck. So luck, crit damage, attack, and he will potentially ignore a bunch of the enemy's defense, and then you can put some more additional ignore defense on the gears as well if you'd like. So that's how I think I would build him if I had him. We have the Light Bomb Man. We've done a handful of videos with this. This is a strip. Attack all enemies, remove 2 buff, and has 80 to 100% chance to inflict 3-turn blind. Enemies in stealth cannot resist this heal. Will replace blind with stun. So it's extra effective against things with stealth. But also, I like him on bash, so he can strip and stun. So I have him on high speed on bash, and I also put good attack and accuracy on him. Well, you need accuracy for this. You need accuracy for this as well. The bomb. Well, you need less accuracy. I shouldn't say that because there's no such thing as less accuracy in here. The accuracy and accuracy and accuracy. But we got the bomb here. So AoE bomb, AoE strip and blind, potentially stun if the enemy's under stealth. And then we've got a little stun over here. We've used him so many times in the light team that I like to use often. So yeah, a great choice. I think a lot of people might not pick him because there's just other units that are just so meta that it's ridiculous. We got the Ghost Captain, similar to Molly from the game that shall not be named. We got the AoE here, which makes him actually decent on bash because this Ghost Crew skill 1 plus the passive makes it kind of annoying on Bash. Captain's Order skill 2, attack a target indiscriminately. When attacking an ally, they will immediately gain a turn. Attacking an enemy decreases its action bar by 100%. Kind of different from the Light Mermaid in the other game. Mirage passive, when another ally is attacked, there's a 20% chance to cause the attack to glance. This effect is not stacked with similar effects. If an enemy lands a glancing hit, counterattack the enemy. And additionally, after attacking, recover 15 to 18% ally with the lowest HP. But it's the counterattack plus the AoE that could potentially keep stunning the enemies. So, and then we have the resistance lead on that. This one actually very popular for dungeons. Thorn Guard passive, when an ally other than yourself is attacked, counterattack the attacker, attacking 3 times, applying damage over turn for 1 turn with each attack. And then you have the Water Ghost Captain, the Tree Ghost Captain, to detonate those dots. So bosses attack you, you do the dots, Tree Ghost Captain detonates the dots and gets nasty. We have the blind and damage over turn, same as the tree one, which we've done a handful of videos using tree, haven't we? How many videos? It doesn't matter. We'll do more. Then we have Light Wisp Catcher, another really, so that one's got some ridiculous potential for multiple Light Annihilators for really fast dungeon runs. We have the Light Wisp Catcher, which is crazy damage. Defense break over here. AoE, double hits, defense break for 3 turns, reduce the action bar by 30%, increase damage based on your maximum HP. Skill cannot be resisted. Very fast wave clears for dungeons. And then we have the Suppressed Siphon. Attack all enemies, recover HP equal to 20% damage dealt. Decrease target max HP by 30% of the damage dealt. And then this one is just a decrease action bar. But this really popular for some dungeon runs because very effective. Light Bear. He's the kinky of the group. If you're actually playing the game, you already know this unit is everywhere. So he's got the defense break here and recover based on 30% of the damage dealt. Damage increases based on your maximum HP. You build him as a tank, which, you know, it does say tank. So there's that. Bear down the mountain. Grant yourself a two-turn crit up and attack all enemies. If you kill an enemy, gain 1 turn of unyield. Damage increases based on your maximum HP. Again, tank. And then the B-Bane passive. When your max HP is higher than the enemies, so again, build him max HP. Critical rate increases by 30% and decreases the critical chance you receive by 70%. If the damage taken is less than 15% of your max HP, you will counterattack. Nasty, frustrating unit to deal with. The Ripper, maybe we should try him some more because he didn't have skill ups at the time. He still doesn't. I think he did have skills, but not on the skill 3, which made it very frustrating. So this one, same as the other first skills on the Rippers. Attack the enemy 2 times. Each attack is a 50 to 70% chance to apply incurable. Second skill, Boomerang Hat. Attack the enemy, increase your action bar by 50%. Damage based on your speed. After using other abilities during your turn, there's a 30% chance to automatically cast this ability. Actually, I thought this was different. I thought this was after using this. You have, because I've been using the fire one and not really using this guy too much. And this will trigger even after you do Killomatic. So damage after using other abilities during your turn, 30% chance to automatically cast this. But Killomatic throws random items found in your hat to attack an enemy 4 times. Cleaver inflicts defense break for 2 turns. Hammer defense. It's based on the probability increases based on your attack power. Inflicts defense down for 2 turns. Hammer based on defense, inflicts stun for 1 turn. Flask HP, inflicts toxic for 2 turns. Grenade speed, deals defense ignoring damage. Higher the corresponding stat, the higher the chance to find that item. So you can kind of change him to be what you want him to be. If you want him to do a bunch of defense breaks, then it's just one enemy though. It's not random enemies, just one enemy. If you want him to do multi-hits that do defense break, build him with a lot of attack. If you want him to be a single target stunner, I can't imagine people are too excited to build a multi-hit single target stunner, but build him with defense. Toxic is HP. Defense ignoring damage. I don't know how to really make this shine, the defense ignoring damage with a speed build, but if you build him speed crit damage attack, he will do defense breaks and defense ignoring damage, which I think that was the strategy that we were going with, but it didn't seem to work as well as I wanted it to. This one, I'm still curious. I was playing around with a guildmates the other day, and this because I wanted to see like how good this was. It didn't really have the correct setup to be amazing on that account. But this is the AoE. This is a newer unit. Attack all enemies 3 times. Each attack is an 80 to 90% chance to apply 2 turn damage over turn. Ignore 25% defense for each damage over turn on the target. So you would like... I mean, the damage is not crazy, though. That's kind of the issue. So even if it is ignoring defense, if you have 4 damage over turn, it will ignore 100% defense. But the damage multiplier is not anything too crazy. 80% times 3. So let's actually take a look at something that's reliable. And this is, oh, it's 45% times 3. Wow. So it will do double the amount of damage. Okay. I thought the tree bookworm was actually higher than that. I did not realize it was quite low. So, wow, I really thought it was higher than 45% damage multiplier. That's crazy. Yeah, so this is just stack a bunch of dots, bring this in with dot units, and this will ignore defense. And also, you don't have to worry about it being a tree unit, and, well, you can't hit fire things, so element neutrality, but you do need to bring the dots beforehand. And then we have the toxic and sleep attack. There's a 1 enemy. If the target's already under the sleep effect, ignores 70% defense, just like the fire one. And then we have the dot here. Potential for more dots. Hey! There we go. And then the light dino of the dead. This is basically a secondary attack power booster. Part of this. Summon skeleton mariachi to perform for 1 turn. They will sacrifice themselves to nullify the enemy's next attack skill. While this effect... So that's the... Cast it, and then the mariachis absorb an attack for you instead of you getting attacked. While this effect is present, all allies' damage increases by 25%, but you can't counterattack or co-op attack. So we got the speed lead, and then we have a secondary attack power booster. So you could bring this in with... I don't even remember what we did in the video with him, but you could bring him in with, like, for example, the fire engineer robot. And then you have attack buff and boost from the fire engineer robot. You have the speed lead from him, attack boost from the fire engineer robot, and the attack power buff. And then you have this attack power buff plus engineer robot's attack power buff. And you bring it in with the nuker and do a bunch of damage. And then enemy comes in and tries to do damage to you next. And you don't have to worry about that if they move right after you, because it's going to mitigate the damage. It's going to nullify the damage. And then this is a 5-star. They're not giving those away. But anyway, that's it for this one. Just wanted to go over some. We're missing all of them, except for like 3. But I just wanted to go over some of the 4 stars that you can potentially get from that event. There are some really, really game-changing ones. I'm sure if you look at enough arena defenses in the game, you see what the game-changing ones are, and there's a lot of light bears, there's a lot of bookworms, there's a lot of archons. So, and it's nice that this is limited to light ones. So if you have something in mind that you want, you don't have to be like, oh, it's light and darks, and I might get some doo-doo dark ones and some doo-doo light ones, and then not actually get something good. But with this, it's like you have a smaller pool to choose from. So anyway, that's it for this one. Good luck with the event. Farm, farm, farm. I will see you as always in the next one.